Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. And welcome to today's EastEnders Daily. And today's focus is on Tilly Keeper, or should I say, Matilda Tilly Keeper. Kept that one quiet, didn't you, Tills? Oh, sorry. She doesn't like people calling her Tills unless you know her. Shouldn't be doing that. Sorry. I love giving people pet names. I'm sorry. It's not meant to give any offence. So let's have a look at this. So Tilly is actually from Bromley, my hometown, hey? That's brilliant, yeah. Bromley's pretty awesome, hey, Tilly? Tilly? And he said Tills again. Tilly. So that's awesome. Even though I swapped Bromley for Cyprus, who can blame me? I'm always going to be a Bromley boy at heart. So let's look at this. So Keeper was born in London, England. Now, I don't want to go into her dad and all that personal stuff. Basically, let's have a look. She attended the D&B Academy of Performing Arts. Know it quite well, actually. Good place. School in Bromley for 14 years. From the age of 4, Keeper took ballet lessons before joining their agency at the age of 7. Keeper lives in Chislehurst, Bromley, with her parents, and she attended Bromley High School. So, I remember Bromley High School, Tilly. It had a bit of a reputation. Shh. Smoking cigarettes outside Raymond's-Bourne Boys for School. Oh, way before your time, Tilly, way before. Because everything's mixed now, isn't it? There's boys and girls at Raymond's-Bourne. Anyway, right. So, why am I reading this off? Well, I think it's important to know someone's background before I start talking to them, or talking about them, sorry. Chance will be a fine thing, right? About them professionally. So today's focus is on Tilly because I've spoken about her on my previous videos. And I think this is important because with Kate Oates coming on EastEnders, and this is important now because we all know what happened with Lucy Fallon when Kate came on. And what happened was this. She gave her a massive storyline, didn't she? She gave her the grooming storyline, and it was massive for her as an actor. It challenged her, and Luce really took it on. And I've told her myself how amazing I thought that was, and it was great to have a little conversation with her about that. Actually, so always great to talk to fellow artists, and especially ones who are actually well known, because it's great to know how they feel in the industry. But Tilly Keeper, this is going to be an interesting one for Tilly. And of course, I'm sure Kate's already had a conversation with her, or she's going to have a conversation with her, because Kate expects a lot from her artists. There's no question. She's going to be throwing, two things are going to happen here. Either she will embrace Tilly and say, look, I've got a great idea for you. It's a big social issue. You're going to be having to work a lot. Because Tilly's never really been challenged since coming to EastEnders, as far as I'm concerned. People say to me, what do you think? Do you think Tilly Keeper's a good actor? Well, I don't know, because I've never seen her act, because she's never been challenged. Because, yes, she can deliver, she's capable of delivering the dialogue and pulling face expressions and things like that. But for me, that's not acting. That's easy. We can all do that. We can all do that, but that's not what acting is. Acting's about becoming a character, about, delivering a dynamic, delivering a character. And Tilly really hasn't been given the stage to do that yet. Well, she's going to remain if Kate Oates is happy to have her on the show and thinks there's a future for her. And there's no reason, I haven't heard anything to say that Tilly Keeper will be leaving EastEnders. Tilly is now 21 years old. And really, she's been riding the surfboard. From no fault of her own, since she's turned up on EastEnders. Do you remember what Danny Dyer said a few years back when he first arrived on the show? It's like an early retirement. And what did Danny mean by that? What Danny meant was he wasn't going to be challenged. Danny Dyer was brought onto EastEnders because he's Danny Dyer, and Dominic Treadwell-Collins believed that this would put butts in seats. To be honest with you, it didn't really. He's got a lot. Look, Danny's got a lot of fans, and I'm sure he's a lovely guy. And you could go down the pub with him and have a good laugh. But we're not here to be friends and talk friendliness. We're here to talk about EastEnders. I don't like what EastEnders has become. There's no question about that. I loved what EastEnders was, what Tony and Julia created. And I know for a fact Kate is a big soap fan, and she'll be wanting to do this again. What was it she said? on her big Q&A, she said, I want to bring that whole thing of everybody's talking about it. She wants everyone to be talking about EastEnders again, and so do I. From the moment her first episode airs, I'll be watching. I will be supporting this show. I'll be honest, I haven't been supporting this show. I've been watching episodes here and there, really busy doing shooting of my own and doing writing of my own. So not always time, but, I'll be catching up on BBCI. What I'm hoping to do, and I want to get the channel involved, I'll be doing live tweeting and reviewing every episode. When I say reviewing, it doesn't mean I'm going to go over and recap every fucking thing. What it means is we're just going to talk about what happened. So back to Tilly. So what do I think is going to happen with Tilly and her character Louise? I know Kate Oates. I know what she's about. I know what she's like. And she, as I say, she will challenge even the extras. So she's a disciplined person. What I love about Kate, she'll represent male characters as strongly as she does females. She's not one of these females who's going to stop, I'm here for women, and all of that. So she's fantastic. EastEnders will become very dark, very compelling, and very violent, as EastEnders should be. The comedy will be within the drama. What another problem with EastEnders has been in the past decade, they've tried to create comedy set pieces. And to be honest with you, half the time it becomes very cringy and very embarrassing. So what's she going to do with Tilly? What's she going to do with Louise? She's going to, look, I believe she's going to give her something massive. As we've just read, Tilly has had drama school. She's had acting training, as have I. And, I mean, it's more about natural talent in the end of the day. And we're only going to know how talented Tilly is until she's challenged. And as I said before, she hasn't been challenged. She's been given this and that, but really, Tilly Keeper was cast on EastEnders because she's an attractive young woman. It's as simple as that. In fact, I'll go above that and say she's a very glamorous, beautiful young woman. She is. And I mean, as a man, I can see that. But you don't have to be a man. It's not about sex. It's obvious why she was cast. So now she's going to be challenged by this woman. And, this is her test. This is big. She will be, if Kate believes she can handle it, she will give her something big. And we will see. We will see what the future holds for Tilly. I personally like Tilly Keeper. I like her tweets. I think she's in terms of what she's like on Twitter or Instagram, she's just a typical 21-year-old young woman. She talks about music, movies, actors. She's a bit of a fangirl. So she seems like a really pleasant enough, down-to-earth, kind of normal, everyday young woman. What she's like as an actor and what talent she's got, as I say, I don't know. That's what I mean. She hasn't been challenged yet. I haven't seen it. So what I want to see from you, Tilly, as a creative, as a fan of the show, I want to see that you're on EastEnders for more than your looks. And I think that's really, really important now. And I hope that you take the challenge on that Kate's going to give you. And I hope we see great character development and you take on a great character. Because this is why people act. It's great to be famous. It's great for people to know you. It's great to have fans. That's all very fulfilling and worthwhile. But to be in this industry is tough. It isn't a friendly industry. It's dog eat dog. And at the end of the day, if you don't have the talent, you won't survive. Because what's going to happen now, as you've seen with the recasting of Ben Mitchell, she could have easily just brought Harry back, but it was clear for me and everyone that Harry just didn't have the acting chops to pull off what she wanted, and that's what I mean. She's very thorough, and in that sense, I suppose she's brutal, but it's not brutality. Kate wants to create the best piece of drama she can, and she needs the best, and that's why Harry got recast. She was very good to Harry. She told him, she's spoken to him, but at the end of the day, there can be no sympathy or friendship in these situations, because if EastEnders fails once Kate comes on, the buck stops with Kate. So it's all very well her being friendly with everyone, but it's all very well having friends if you're a failed showrunner. And most EastEnders producers, going back to the early noughties, have been failures. They simply haven't been good enough. And that goes back to Kate Harwood, Kate Harewood. That's when I started to notice how ordinary and mediocre EastEnders had become. So All the best, Tilly. I hope you get challenged, and I really hope you take on the challenge.